So about a week ago, I created a video theory based on the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's timeline placement, which I believed to be placed in the downfall time period, around the Imprisoning War era. I also proceeded to explain how I believed Link in Ocarina of Time and Link in Breath of the Wild were the same Link, that Breath of the Wild's Link was indeed the hero of time. I still believe that to this day, but I want to explain a little bit more about the Master Sword specifically, and some of the scenes that we see in the trailer, the most recent trailer, that most people are just assuming are flashbacks and some kind of scenes from the past, if you will. Now, while I do understand how some people could have came to the conclusion that those were flashbacks and were in the past, even myself, I assumed in my last theory video that they may be flashbacks to the past, and I had an explanation for them. But I have a little bit of a better explanation for you guys in this video, and it's more based around the Master Sword. So I do hope you guys are going to hear me out and take a quick listen. Now again, after my last video, I had a lot of different kind of feedback. There's people who agreed with the theory. There's even people I came across who had made their own videos prior to mine that I didn't realize before making mine. Then again, theirs were a few months ago before a lot of the more recent information. So regardless, I still felt that mine was very valid as it had new information in it. Then there were some people who strongly disagreed with the theory. Now, given a couple of them made some fair points, but even at that, I strongly believe there were some very valid workarounds against those arguments. But one of the arguments I've heard the most is against the fact that we see certain scenes in the new trailer that seem to be from the past, when Zelda and Link are fighting guardians and they're in poor shape. They have the Master Sword, which is also in poor shape, and I have a theory for you guys in this video which will explain all of that, and hopefully it convinces you. So let's jump into it. Now, before we get into the meaty things, I do have to give credit where credit is due. A Reddit user by the name of RedGlass12 presented me with this foundational theory. I kind of tweaked it here and there to make it give it a little bit more sense in my head at least, and this is kind of what I've come up with. So my friends, this is the explanation of the scenes in the brand new trailer. This is the theory of the Master Sword's condition. We're going to put a bunch of different scenes that we've seen in the trailer in a storyboard, if you will, and we're going to explain it all. So the very first thing we see is Link finds the Master Sword at the base of the Great Deku Tree. Again, this is seen in the trailer. And the Great Deku Tree then tells him how to restore the power to the Master Sword. He says that Link has to go find Zelda, who is the reincarnation of Hylia, and bring her back here to the Deku Tree. Now, we also know that the Guardians are controlled by Ganon. Ganon is sealed within Hyrule Castle, and we know from the back of the map that comes with the special and master editions of Breath of the Wild, the Hylian text that was translated by Zeltic, we know from that translation that Ganon took control of the Guardians. Now, whether the Guardians are controlled on their own now, or whether Ganon still controls them from within his concealment, it doesn't matter. They have still been corrupted by Ganon, and they're still evil to do what he wishes them to do. Now, one of the parts that's a little bit more questionable in my head, but this is what a Reddit user, RedGlass12, believes, is that the town that we see in destruction that's burning in the trailer that seems to be from the past is the town that looks like Castle Town, is perhaps where Zelda was located, where she was hiding, and somehow Ganon, within his concealment, learned about that, and again, with his power, sent the Guardians after her in that town, which is why the town is in ruin. Now, again, this could be very well present or past. It could be past, like I explained in my last video, and that, you know, this was a town that they rebuilt during the Imprisoning War, when Ganon was sealed in the Sacred Realm, and then they rebuilt this town, and then when we see it being destroyed, that is when Ganon broke free from the concealment in the Sacred Realm, and then he was sealed in Hyrule Castle. Or perhaps Ganon sent the Guardians after her to get her, knowing that Link was trying to find her to restore the Master Sword. So either or, we can still continue with this theory. So regardless of the stance on this specific part, even if this town was destroyed in the past, it doesn't really matter, because Ganon could have still found out that Link had been awoken, that Link was trying to find Zelda, and he sent the Guardians to hunt after them. So that is where we play into the next part. So eventually Link finds Zelda, finds out where she's located, whether it's with her help through the Sheikah Slate, speaking through the Sheikah Slate, or however else. He finds her, and she knows that she has to go to the Great Deku Tree in order to help restore the Master Sword. So they go and venture off. Link has been hurt while running away from the Guardians at this point. The Guardians are hunting them. They've encountered some Guardians on their way back to the Deku Tree, and so the Guardians catch up to them and targets Link. This is when Zelda steps in front of the Guardian to save Link, and she uses her power. Obviously, she's the incarnation of Hylia, and she has this power. So she uses her power to save Link, and then Link remembers the words of the King of Hyrule while they were in the town they just fled. We can hear these words from the King of Hyrule in the trailer where he tells Link to take care of his daughter.
You must save her, my daughter.
So Link, remembering these words, is filled with courage, rises up, shoves Zelda behind him to protect her, and destroys the Guardian. After this, we see a very emotional scene in which Zelda completely breaks down, crying in Link's arms, overcome with the grief, seeing how Hyrule has been destroyed, how it's in ruin, and knowing that they had failed in Ocarina of Time. They'd failed Hyrule, which began and sparked the events of the Downfall timeline and the Imprisoning War era, if you will. And so she's overcome with all this grief, you know, seeing that Hyrule's just in a state of decay. And so Link eventually succeeds in bringing Zelda to the Great Deku Tree, in which the Great Deku Tree then tells Zelda that in order to have the power restored to the Master Sword, to bring it back to its pristine condition, that she has to go deep here in Faron Woods and bathe in the Skyview Spring, similar to what we've seen in Skyward Sword, where she had to cleanse herself in order to perform a ritual. And so Link takes Zelda to the Skyview Spring deep in Faron Woods, and she bathes herself, cleansing herself in the Skyview Spring, preparing herself for the ritual of restoring the Master Sword. They then make their way back to the Great Deku Tree. Zelda takes the Master Sword in its rugged condition, places it in the pedestal before the Great Deku Tree, and with her power, perhaps with some of the help of the Great Deku Tree's power, she restores the Master Sword to its perfect, pristine condition and restores it to its full great power. So with the Master Sword in hand, Link now has enough power to go do away with the evil Calamity Ganon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this theory. If you guys did, please smash that like button for me. Let me know if you guys are convinced of this theory in the comment section below. I think it's the best explanation for it. I find it very compelling, very convincing in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What do you think? Obviously, right now it's all just theories, but obviously there's some more plausible theories and some less plausible theories. But we're gonna find out March 3rd. March 3rd is just around the corner in about 4 weeks. I'm super excited. You know, we're gonna be covering everything Nintendo Switch, Breath of the Wild, lots of gameplay, lots of videos, lots of stuff to cover and enjoy. So let me know what you guys think again in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe to the comment, share, and all that awesome stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and like always, until then, game on.